Oh, fuck. Well, it is 4 a.m. the day of surgery. I just woke up from some wild dreams. That was pretty fun. I feel tired. I feel like I'm not ready to get up and do this, but whatever. It is what it is. Get up. I've got to have a shower with this freaking surgical wash, which is going to dry the shit out my skin. But yeah, I better go do that. I'm going to have a black coffee. Oh, I just want to go back to sleep. But today's the day. Fuck. Alright, I've got everything ready. I just gotta turn off everything in the house. I'm nervous as all fuck, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Alright, one last hurrah. See you later, belly. Catch you on the flip side. Alright, off to pick up the bestie. I'm gonna take my car and she's gonna drive my car in. So let's go pick her up. Here she comes. Alright, well, on our way. Walking to St. George Hospital. We parked the car and we're off to day surgery unit. Let's see how this goes. So I feel like I've got to put a little video just in between this, just to explain what happened. So we got to the day surgery unit, and unfortunately my friend and my ex-partner who came to say goodbye as well, they couldn't actually come in with me. So I kind of had to say goodbye to them at the door. And from then it was just like this big crazy panic of get in. Like I was first on the list, had to make sure everything was sorted. The team came in to see me really quickly before I went in. Now, I went in originally thinking that I would need to have some of my bowel removed. Obviously, the mass was going to be removed, and potentially my kidney. That was all that was told to me. So as the team left, another doctor stayed behind to do consent. Now, this is where things got pretty wild. So he was talking to me and explained how the mass had adhered to a lot of my organs. So I was told that my spleen would have to be removed, my left kidney, my left ovary. We had a 2-minute conversation on if I wanted to have children in the future, because it might not be able to happen if they had to remove my ovary. I was told that I would probably have a stoma, and I was told that I need chemotherapy washout. So all that happened within a space of like 5-10 minutes, and it was so overwhelming. I had to sign the consent form. I was trying to message my friend to explain to her what was happening, and this was going to be a lot bigger than I initially thought. But I had lots of people coming in, get changed, put your TED stockings on, allergy bands, all that stuff, and it was just this crazy mad rush. As I was going through the process, I got moved to pre-op. The nurse had a little look at my sheet and was like, oh, I didn't realize you're having chemotherapy. That changes our setup. You know, give us 2 seconds. We need to forward that onto theatre staff so they can set up as well. The anesthetic team came to see me as well. They said, look, we weren't expecting this as well, so we need to change our kind of practice as well as what we were doing. So it was this really big kind of shock that was just kind of put on me. When I was in the bay just before going into theatre, the anesthetic team, these guys were fantastic. Like, they really made me feel so, I don't want to say comfortable, but they made me feel at rest. They actually said, hey, let's have a timeout. She's been told a lot different to what she was expecting. Let's just give her a little bit to see if she actually wants to go through with this or not. But in my mind, although I was overwhelmed, in my head I thought, okay, this just needs to happen anyway. I don't want to go back home and have to come through this process again. So I said, yep, let's just do what needs to be done. Very, very scared about having an epidural. I had really, really bad past experiences with my birth with an epidural, but he made me feel really comfortable, and he really supported me. This guy, what was his name? Johan, I think his name was just amazing. He actually held my hand, which doesn't happen often, but really, really great. Anyway, so I went into theatre thinking, fuck, I'm going to come out with no fucking organs. I'm not going to be able to have any more children in the future. I'm having chemo. I went to sleep very, very scared. And this is how I woke up. Hey, so out of surgery for the past hour? 2 hours. And everything went A-okay, like way better than expected. I just got drips and drains and all sorts coming out. But yeah, it all went fine and I'm on the road to recovery. Woo! Oh, I feel like I've got sunglasses on. Where's my nostril? Get yourself a lifer that's gonna fix your hair when you're off your titties.
Does that sound alright? Show me that sound. Yeah.
Man, I'm in a lot of pain. That sound is killing me. It is 5 o'clock and I still haven't been to sleep. Okay, so a little full on, my heart rate and my blood pressure dropped. So I just had to have some atropine and sort everything out. I'm back into bed now and they've upped my epidural. Just to try and block some pain out. So hopefully it works. Okay, it is day 3 and it's 11:15. Small mishap where my heart stopped. And I had to have some CPR, but I'm back. Made it, thought through, so just gotta keep recovering. So day 3 was a very big day. Like the previous couple of nights, I didn't really sleep much at all. I had a beautiful registered nurse that took care of me that night. She was fabulous. She was just so kind and so caring. And we had discussions overnight about nursing, about everything in general. At 5 a.m. she came in because my arterial line was reading very, very low. So she was just having a look at it, kind of doing some troubleshooting. I remember talking to her, and it was then and there that I went into cardiac arrest. Thank goodness she was right next to me. She commenced CPR straight away. This is, like, I spoke to her a little bit afterwards. The team had to work really, really hard to bring me back. And I have a very vivid memory of coming round. And one of the intensivists, the female intensivist, beautiful lady, she was very, very panicked and she was shouting my name really loud, like borderline screaming my name. So obviously I saw her, and when you see a doctor panic, you panic. I knew something bad had happened. Very, very cliche. But another intensivist kind of came into my vision. His name was Ben, beautiful man, very kind, calm demeanor. And everything else was blurry at the time. I could just focus on him. My vision was very, very white, very bright. Everything was very vivid. And I was just focused on him. He explained that my heart had stopped. There was still a lot of people around me kind of pumping me full of things, and had the defib pads on and stuff. He explained what happened. So it was pretty full on. It's quite hard to talk about because it was a really, really scary experience. Like when you're on your own, it's a hard thing to go through, because I thought, fuck, like I could have died. But they did such a wonderful job. They worked really, really hard. And they brought me back, and I'm forever grateful for that. Like, I have a new lease on life. Like, I'm very, very grateful to be here. But it was scary, and I'm very fortunate that I had a great team and a fantastic nurse who was just on the ball and started CPR straight away. My poor friend got a phone call 5:30 in the morning to tell her that I'd had a cardiac arrest. So it's a lot for her to deal with as well. But yeah, it was just, day 3 was pretty wild. Okay, day number 4. A little bit better. Emotionally a shit day. Pain's a little bit more under control, but I think tomorrow I'm going to go to the ward after I've been cleared by cardiology. And I'll get the epidural taken out, which I'm a bit worried about, but go from there. Okay, so it is day 5, and I didn't sleep at all last night. The epidural stopped working, and I haven't been able to keep my pain under control. So I'm just waiting for the gastro team to come around. I think I could be discharged from ICU. The pain team to come around to see if they can try and help me out. And then the intensivist to see what they can do as well. But it has been a really, really long, sore, painful night. I'm on a PCA of oxycodone, but that's doing absolutely nothing. Ready to go home. Over it. Ten to 7, 0 sleep. How's this for the good treatment? So me being the competitive shithead that I am, I was given an incentive spirometer that you get post-op. So it's just to help with lung function. Obviously, when you're not mobilizing, you're at high risk of clots, pulmonary embolisms. So I made it my little challenge that each day I had to beat my previous reading. So I actually recorded a lot of this, and I did look at it improved a lot. So I'm glad that I did it. So it's always good to have a little competitive streak, I think. Going for a scan to see if the NG tube can come out. Fingers crossed, because it's causing a lot of pain. Okay, it's day 8, and I've got my NG tube out now, which is good. And first day of eating something, so having a clear chicken soup. I've had my first shower, which feels freaking amazing. And it's good to not have an NG tube in anymore. Okay, it's been 7 days since I had surgery. But things are going pretty good. NG tube's out, epidural's out, art line's out. Pain is somewhat under control. So now I've started clear fluids, and I've just got to work my way up with food. And hopefully I can get out of here end of next week. How's this for service? Breakfast is served. Day 9, first cup of tea. Just getting the drains cut out and bagged.
Not really, but just give me a bit of time.
Okay, so this is where it starts getting a little bit crazy. So day 9, day 10, it's all quite blurry, to be honest, what days it was. My friend had come up to see me. It was the first time getting out of bed and sitting out of bed. And I kind of was having like little fluttery feelings in my heart, and had some really odd pain that wasn't the normal pain that I was getting. I was sitting, my friend had just came in and I was sitting up, and started getting that kind of impending doom feeling. I could feel my heart rate dropping again. And I started vomiting quite violently, which was horrible for my sutures. But I was put back to bed. My blood pressure had dropped. My heart rate had dropped again. And it was from then that I started developing really, really bad pain. It's really, when I think about it now, it's actually very frustrating because I think I can handle a lot of pain. I truly do. I think I've got high tolerance for pain. But I can hand on heart say that I had 10 out of 10 pain. And it was different pain to what I was experiencing. I made nursing staff aware of it. It got to a point where I was actually trying to stand up and sway to try and get rid of it because it was kind of coming in waves. And I was saying to the nurse, something is not right. Like, this is a new pain. Something just doesn't feel right. I'm in agony. She was actually very dismissive, and just kept saying, yep, I've called the doctor. Yep, doctor's coming. Don't worry, doctor's on his way. This went on for about 4 hours. I kid you not, about 4 hours. And it got to a point where, and I don't swear often at people, like I swear in general. But I said to her, like, I need fucking help. Like, something is fucking wrong. I was in absolute agony, like literally wriggling about in pain, until another nurse kind of saw me and said, holy shit, you need to do a clinical review. So she called a clinical review. Doctors came straight away. I was actually sent for an urgent CT. This was about midnight, and it showed that I had acute pancreatitis, and fecal loading as well. So I was in a lot of pain for good reason. I was started on a ketamine infusion. Now, the ketamine made me feel horrible. I had this internal agitation. I was hallucinating really bad. It was just it was a horrible few days, horrible. But we managed to finally get pain under control. I got off the ketamine infusion because I became very agitated. I was trying to pull my gown off and my central line out, and yeah, just, it was a horrific couple of days. I honestly would not wish that pain on my worst enemy. It was just terrible, proper 10 out of 10 pain. Day 11 and ODCs just came out. Day 12 and the first time I'm that food. Yeah. Day 14 and eating my first breakfast. Fingers crossed it goes okay. You know, I'm feeling better because I came for a walk to get chocolate. Staples are about to come out. CVC is now out as well. All drain free and happy to go home. Okay. Day 13 and finally being discharged. Look at my hair, bloody hell. Comes for a ride. Woo-hoo. Well, getting into the car was a bit of an ordeal, and now we've got to try and get out of the car. So Lyra's going to go and get a stool to see if I can get out the car that way, because it is painful as fuck getting in and out of the car. All Aussie adventures. Let's see if this works.
You right? She made it! Watch the step.
Home sweet home. And it's absolutely freezing, so I'm putting the heater on.